Welcome to day 3. This is the final day of Unlock Your Confidence Code, and I am excited for today. Today's my favorite day out of all the days. And listen till the end because I do have a bonus for you at the end, but I'm really excited today. So I love talking about these specific topics. So now that we talked about the foundation, the importance of the foundation, and the next important thing is what I like to call CAT. So here's the thing. When I teach this in the Powerhouse method, I coach from part of the CAT method. And originally it was spelled like you would spell cat, C-A-T. But when I was creating this boot camp, I really wanted to add 2 more letters because of their importance. So that's what I did, and we're going to talk about those. Hey, Michelle, thanks for watching live. If you have any questions, please make sure you pop them in there, and I will catch you on the way at the end. All right, so the first C in CAT, I'm going to make sure you guys can actually see me writing this. The first C, clarity. So we're actually going to talk about, I'm going to go through and I'm going to skip the ones that I added. So originally CAT was clarity, authenticity, and tenacity. Okay, those were the original portions of the Powerhouse method that I taught, and at the end I'm going to give you the last 2. But what I want you to think about right now, it's something that I live by. It's something I want you to remember, so I would write this down. I want you to think about this. Clarity is power. Authenticity is the new currency, and tenacity is the bold, fierce power that drives all of it. Okay, so when I say that and when I feel that in my body, it is like I feel power in my body. So you should feel the same way when you hear that statement. So again, clarity is power, authenticity is the new currency, and tenacity is that bold, fierce drive that's pushing and powering everything. Okay, so let's dive into clarity first. Why is clarity power? If you think you know, feel free to pop them in the comments. But because clarity is so important, because the moment you become clear on your vision, the moment you become clear on your impact and how you're going to change the world, it's like the skies open up and your purpose is like just rains down on you. It is like the heavens open and everything comes full circle. It's a full understanding of the potential of the impact, the potential of the impact of your mission and the way you're going to bring what you have to offer and your uniqueness to this world. Clarity eliminates the need for you to have willpower to continue, because when you embrace what's possible with the impact of your purpose, it changes you. So this is why clarity is so important. Once you're clear, it's like you don't need that push anymore to keep going because you know why. You're so clear in your vision that you know exactly what you're doing and why you're doing it. Okay? So this is kind of why I feel, and you're going to hear a lot of people say this, but this is why I feel the fake it till you make it concept is bullshit. And I do not subscribe to that at all. And I do not allow my clients to fall into that trap, because buying into the fake it till you make it concept, it feels inauthentic, which creates uncertainty and doubt. So now all that clarity that you have starts to get really fuzzy and fades. So the thoughts and feelings that are lying deep in your subconscious, they cannot be ignored. You can only push them down for so long. And the crazy part about clarity is that it comes with doing. It comes with trying and failing. So you might think that you're super clear on where you're going and what you want, and that may change in a month or 2 or 6 months or a year, and that's okay because you tried, you moved forward, and you failed. But the key is too many people start without any clarity at all, okay? And that's why you're in the constant cycle. So there are books, workshops, and all different types of ways that I've seen to obtain clarity on your purpose. I created a course on it myself, but what I found is that real clarity, real solid clarity, it came for me when I stopped screwing around, like literally. And that's like a hard thing to say to myself. Like you need to stop messing around. Okay, when I stopped trying to come up with fancy titles and taglines and branding and logos and trying to outthink everything and recreate the wheel, like what I was doing was different than what other coaches were doing. Other coaches are coaching on the same thing. It's just other coaches are not me. They don't say it the way I say it. But I was pushing, trying to find something to make it more difficult, okay? So I'm not going to give you what you've known in the other days. I'm not big on a zillion journal prompts, okay? So I'm not going to ask you the same questions that you've heard 1,000 times. I want you to simply stop making things so complicated. You know that saying, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. We overcomplicate everything. We feel like everything has to be complicated. I want you to just truly ask yourself, where did my transformation start? And what were you so desperately searching for in order to claim that transformation? What were you searching for? Where did it start? It's super important questions I want you to ask yourself, okay? And I want you to think about where in your transformation does the most important piece show up for you? Where is the most important part of your transformation? How is that reflected? Okay, I can tell you that personally, I always knew that confidence was a huge piece of how I wanted to help women. I always knew it. Somehow deep down, I knew that it was something I struggled with, even though I pretended that I had it. I can tell you that the reason why I opened up my brick and mortar fitness company 3 years ago, Fierce Fitness, was because the physical aspect of change in women was so amazing to be a part of. And I wanted to be a part of that. But it wasn't enough. And I realized that I was watching people's confidence soar. I was watching women's lives change, not because of what they saw in the mirror, but because they realized how powerful they were, how confident they were becoming on the things that they could do. And it lit me up. It was like having someone tell you over and over and over that they didn't believe in themselves enough to do anything, any of that, or have the confidence that to even show up. People would say, I almost didn't show up here because I was too nervous or I was too scared. And then having them say that because you believed in me when I didn't believe in myself is the reason why I'm here right now. So it's huge. So it was a big reason when, I had a woman tell me who I was training that said, you're my life coach. And it was like, the clarity skies opened for me. I was already doing that. I was already more ingrained in that aspect of it. And it all of a sudden became clear. But I went through so many gyrations of forcing things before I realized how important that was. Where did my transformation start? For me, my transformation did start with me going to the gym and working on my outside self to realize that it was the inside self that was the problem. So it was an easy transition, but here's where the kicker comes in, and I'm not going to lie. I allowed the noise and all of the mumbo jumbo that goes out in social media. I allowed the noise. I allowed looking at other people's successes and mentors and gurus and saying, oh my God, maybe that's what I should do. Maybe that's what I should say. Oh, her tagline's great. I allowed all that noise for a year to get into my head and steal the clarity that I knew I had. And when I came full circle, I said to myself and I said to my coach, oh my God, had I just stayed the course, had I listened to my heart, had I done the foundational self-worth, the self-work, I would have not taken so long to come back to this complete circle. So you do the work to get clear. Then you dare to show up different. And when you're clear, you get into action, which is the right type of action all the time. Okay? So I hope that that's a really good breakdown for you on clarity, because it's a little bit more broad than just the way that most people are talking about it. The next A, authenticity, a much, much overused word in the social media space right now. Too overused. I almost dislike using it, but it is so important. So I want to know, what does authenticity mean to you? What does it truly mean to you? So if you want to comment, let me know. Let me know what it means. But for me, authenticity is the unwavering, bold, unique ability to always show up as me, no matter what. 100% as me. Love it, hate it, I don't care. This is who I am, and this is how I'm always going to show up. You are always going to know what you get from me. It's always going to be real and raw. It's not silencing my voice because it doesn't comply with some kind of rule or standard, okay? And it's not wavering or toning myself down ever for anyone. It's knowing that I am the biggest asset, and I show up every day that way, everywhere. The most important part of authenticity is understanding that you show up every day, everywhere, the same way. Okay? So now I'm going to go a little deeper. Authenticity, too, is leading with empathy and not authority. So when you show up, I want you to show up remembering that the heart matters more than anything. So what that means is that you're not showing up as yourself, as the author, or the, pounding your chest saying, I'm the boss, I'm the here, I'm the there. You're showing up with heart. You're understanding who you are, who your tribe is, and actually caring about that, caring about how they feel and what they think. But you're not wavering in who you are, because when you're not wavering, they're going to follow you anyways, because that's what they're following. That's what they're attracted to. So you're not going to present yourself in a way that follows something social media is going to say, oh, you should be more like that. You're not going to say, I want to do this because somebody else does that, because if it's not authentic to you, it's never going to come out right. So the deep engagement that you want for your business, for your life, comes from you just being real, straight up, 100% real, so that the people that you are connecting to and connecting with are authentically drawn to you, to your message, to your impact, to your uniqueness, to your voice. And that's important, because then they'll be there forever. Authenticity creates energy. It's a power. It is a vibration that we send out. So the more authentic you are, the more that you attract. The more you attract team members, clients, tribe, the more you just attract generally. So it's so important to understand that authenticity creates energy. So decide what kind of energy you want to be, how you want to be, okay? So I want you to ask yourself right now, is there a way, or can you identify right now a way you're not being authentic? Something you're saying or sharing that's just not in line with who you really are. Do you have some sort of facade up on social media? Are you presenting yourself in a way maybe that you normally wouldn't? And I want you to sit in this question after this and really examine all the ways that you're showing up, all the ways that you're not showing up. And if there's an area you need to adjust to realign with who you are and your authentic vibration and your energy, adjust it. Or maybe you're not just showing up at all because you're scared of your true self. So maybe you need to identify that and start doing it. The key to being truly authentic is leaving the need for a label behind. You don't need a label. You just need to be you, plain and simple, okay? I know, we're getting deep today. This is why this is my favorite topics. So the T. T is for tenacity, and I kind of love that word. So there are a lot of people who like to say you're either born with tenacity or you're not. And I think that's another bullshit statement. I think that if you are moved by your message and your impact, it can create the tenacity that you need to create change for everyone, for yourself, and for those who desire to help. So tenacity is just the ability to drive and work hard. So if you have the willpower, that you don't need the willpower anymore because you have the clarity and you're being authentic, having that tenacity should come easy. It is showing up in fear. It's showing up when the shine wears off. It's showing up when it's hard. It's showing up when it's easy. Tenacity separates the dreamers and the doers, the action takers. Tenacity is just a way to say, I don't just sit in dreamland, I'm actually doing it. I'm making bold moves, okay? The thing to remember that you do not have to be the most talented. You don't have to be the richest, the strongest, the smartest, have the most followers. You just have to be willing to work everyone else. Everyone. Outwork everyone. Even that woman, that coach that you follow that's $1 million earner, outwork her. Okay? So I hope you can see why it's so important and it's so connected to the clarity and the authenticity. Tenacity comes easy when you have those two things. When you're clear in your impact, when you're clear in your purpose, and the potential has like this to change someone else's life, just changes you. That drive and desire burns inside of you, and you no longer feel like you need willpower. That's it. You're not forced. You're not forcing to show up. You're not forcing yourself to make a post. You're just doing. So the difference in who you are and what you want to do is the action and how you will take it once you're clear. So if you feel like you have the grit and you have the tenacity, and now you feel like you need some work in this area. Okay, so do you have grit and tenacity? Do you feel like you have that, but you are not clear in the clarity and authenticity part? Then you know to work in there. If you feel like you're pretty clear and you've got the authenticity down, but you're like, I'm not sure about the tenacity. Do I have the hustle? Do I have the grit? Focus on that area. So the second C. Can you guess what the second C is? The second C, I'm going to make you wait a little while. It's the single most marketable trait that you can have. And I know that sounds like boom in your face. But what I mean by that is that it builds your team and your business. The second C builds your business. All the taglines, the funnels, the opt-ins, the websites, the branding, the logos, all of that is actually doing a disservice to you without this C. So what is it? What is the C? What do you think it is? All right. The second C is certainty. Certainty, right? Most people would have thought it was courage, but the second C is actually certainty. And certainty is just a deep, a definition is like a deep knowing or conviction that something is true. It's just being convicted. So imagine being so clear and authentic and convicted to your message. Excuse me. That's being certain. And I know that people say, well, nothing's ever certain in this life. And that's true. But certainty in yourself is important. It is key. You are out there telling women in some fashion or some way, I can help you. I can help you lose weight. I can help you make more money. I can help you gain freedom. I can help you grow a team. I can help you unleash your confidence. However that looks for you, you are telling someone that you can help them. And if you are not rock solid certain that, of yourself, certain of you, certain of your message, what happens is you transfer the uncertainty to them. You transfer uncertainty to people who are going to not end up joining you, not end up buying from you. They're going to go to the next person that bleeds and breathes uncertainty. They're so certain in themselves that is who they're going to follow. Okay? So if your energy that you're putting out isn't certain, the energy you will portray that no matter how hard you try, and let me tell you that, no one will be certain you can help them if you are not certain that you can. There must be some massive trust and connection, and without you being confident, which we had yesterday, confidence, and certain in your abilities, that entire piece is missing. So all of this that we already talked about will be missing. Okay? I know that's like boom. But if you want to influence, if you want to be a leader, if you want to be an impact creator, you have to show up this way in certainty every day, even when it's scary. This is why your foundation is key to success. A lack, and that word drives me nuts, but a lack of belief in yourself will show up in your fears. It shows up in the eyes of those you're trying to serve. If you doubt yourself, you will be doubted. So if you are showing up with that uncertainty in your eyes, in your energy, that is what they are going to get from you. And that is why they are not going to buy from you. That is why they're not going to join you. That is not why they're going to not hire you. You also, you not only need certainty in yourself, but you also need certainty in the belief in the women you're trying to help. So if you're not certain in yourself and you're selling certainty to these women, are you really being in integrity? No. You need to have such a deep down committed belief that the transformation they seek is going to happen. And that happens from you doing the work, having that transformation that you're selling yourself, and being certain and owning it in every single step in every single way. So the truth, how many of you are actually showing up every day in certainty? How many? Do you think that you are showing up certain of yourself? Regardless if you're scared, I'm not talking about if you're scared. We're all scared. We all have fears and have doubts. But if I show up every day, even though this shit is so scary, certain that it doesn't matter because my message is important, that is going to be reflected and portrayed no matter what. Dun, dun, dun. So the last A. And this last part, the last A is nothing happens without it. Not a damn thing happens without the last A. So, anybody got to guess what the last A is? All right. The last A. Action. I know I'm right in front of the board, so sorry about that. The last A is action. Action is the only way to move forward, period. Taking action from confident, empowered, authentic, certain place is how you create the results in your life that you're looking for, and it's how you create transformation and change for the women who you're working with. Action is where the magic happens. It's where transformation occurs. It's where, if you have no action, you have no transformation. You have nothing. Results require commitment and action. And the only reason that you're struggling to take action is because all the things that we discussed in day 1 and 2, the foundations, your self-worth, your self-empowerment, your confidence, if all of that is lacking, there is no action. So another thing that I've heard before, so it's something, if this applies to you, I've had a client tell me, but I'm taking action and still nothing is happening. So I want you to ask yourself, are you taking action from a clear, authentic, confident, self-empowered place? Truthfully, are you? Because 99% of the time, the answer has been no. The action that's being taken is not from that place. And if you have to think about that, because sometimes we like to put Band-Aids on things. We just cover things up and we put Band-Aids on it and we keep moving forward just thinking, well, it's fixed, it's fixed. But on things that we aren't getting to the root of, the real issue, and putting a Band-Aid on, you cannot pretend that's not there. You can't mantra and affirmation your way to changing the beliefs of your subconscious. It knows better. Band-Aids don't work. Far too many people are putting Band-Aids on this part of their life and their work, expecting that their businesses are just going to happen and change. And this is why. If you are subconsciously struggling with confidence and clarity, it's impossible to have any other experience. Things are not going to change. Your actions are a direct result from the thoughts and the feelings around the circumstance, period. So if you have a certain circumstance and you have negative thoughts that create negative feelings, and you take action from those negative thoughts and feelings, your results are going to be negative. If you have a circumstance and you're like, well, this is what it is. I'm going to have a positive thought, which is going to create positive feelings, which is going to create positive action, which is going to change my result. So think about that. All you have to do is change the thoughts and the feelings. You don't realize the thoughts and the feelings you need to change if you're not going to do the work, the foundational work, the self-work, the confidence work, the clarity work, the certainty work. And I'm here to tell you that your actions are a direct correlation to your results. So think about that. If you are taking action from a negative place, from a place of uncertainty and authenticity, imagine your results all the time. You want a different result, you have to change your actions. And the only way that happens is if you are willing to change the way you think and feel about yourself or the circumstance. And the key with this and unlocking your confidence code is changing the way that you feel and you think about yourself. So think about the fact that if you're struggling to make a decision on taking action and you're constantly looking for someone else to give you the answer, you're constantly asking for validation on your question. This is happening because you still are not confident fully in yourself. You're not confident in what you're doing. You're not confident, period. That is why you're looking for validation. So if you're ready to actually decide that that's nothing more than the fact that you're not confident, this isn't really that big deal. This is really simple. If you're ready just to admit and say, I'm just not confident, it's a hard thing to admit. It's a hard thing to say. Okay, so maybe I'm not so clear. Maybe I'm not being 100% authentic. Maybe the action that I am taking or not taking is because of all of those things. So do you want to stay stuck? Or do you want to, or continue to make decisions from a place of being disempowered and inauthentic and not confident? You get to decide. You get to decide. You get to say and really ask yourself, has what I've been doing worked already? Has what I've been doing working, period? Or do I need to make a change? Do I need to commit to doing something else other than more webinars or opting into 50 more things or following those coaches and saying, oh, I'll afford them and hire them one day? Like, you have to commit to you. You are the most important part. You are the foundation of your business. You're the foundation of your life. You are it. You are your asset. You need to take care of you. Okay. So I'm excited because I know I did tell you guys that today was the last day, But tomorrow I am going to do a bonus live, 6:30 Eastern. It's going to be all Q&A and open coaching to anything that you might have questioned these past couple days. Anything at all. And I want to hear all your questions. Any coaching. And if you have a coaching question but you can't be live, post it in the comments and I will come on and I will direct the coaching to you. I'm also going to bring on maybe 1 or 2 special guests to chat with you guys. I think it's important to see what having the foundation is, what ripping off the Band-Aid and doing the work and being confident does for your business and your life. So I hope you guys are all game. Bring your questions, be ready to be coached, and make sure if you you can't catch it live that you let me know and go to the group, tag me, and I will answer everyone and everything. And I want you guys to know how much I appreciate, whether you can make it live or not, that you showed up to this boot camp and that you showed up ready to work and ready to really get down to the root of the problem. I have so enjoyed doing this coaching. This is like what lights me up, and seeing the shifts, seeing things that just change and happen is the reason why I do this. So I'm super excited to just bring you some Q&A tomorrow and give you some coaching, and I cannot wait. And again, if you have any questions, please, please, please feel free to ask them. If you need coaching on anything, any part of this, the clarity, the certainty, the authenticity, the action, let me know. I'm open and I'm here, and this is, take the opportunity to get coached when it's presented to you, okay? I love you guys, and you guys have the rest of the day is amazing, amazing, and we will chat tomorrow.